Plato wrote of a place where gold lined the temple walls and wisdom ruled the streets, a civilization perfectly balanced between nature and technology. And then, in a single day and night of misfortune, it vanished, sunk beneath the waves forever. Close your eyes. Tonight we are not just recounting a myth. We are diving into the deep, looking for the echoes of the lost paradise of Atlantis. Before Rome, before Egypt, there was a whisper of something greater, a memory shared by humanity of a time when we got everything right. The ancients called it Atlantis, not a fable but a civilization that stood at the pinnacle of human achievement, hidden beyond the pillars of Hercules. The philosopher Plato described it with mathematical precision, a city not built on land, but sculpted from it, a series of concentric rings, alternating circles of land and water connected by massive bridges, broad enough for triremes to pass beneath. It was a paradise fueled by geothermal energy. Hot and cold springs flowed freely, filling public baths where citizens conversed in harmony. The air smelled of exotic fruits that grew year-round in the fertile volcanic soil. It was a society without want. The centerpiece was the Temple of Poseidon, a structure so magnificent it defies modern imagination. Its walls were coated in silver, its pinnacles in gold. Inside, the ceiling was made of ivory, inlaid with precious metals that shimmered like the night sky. They possessed a metal known as Orichalcum, second only in value to gold. It glowed with a fiery red light. Some say it was merely a brass alloy. Others believe it was something far more advanced, a technology lost to time that powered their society. For generations, the Atlanteans lived by divine laws. They valued virtue over wealth. They possessed wisdom that allowed them to live in balance with the mighty ocean that surrounded them. They were the masters of the sea, but they respected its power. It is the universal dream of humanity, a golden age where peace reigns supreme, a time before conflict, before scarcity. Atlantis is the blueprint for every utopia we have imagined since. But time corrodes even the purest gold. As centuries passed, the divine element in the Atlanteans grew weak. The human nature began to dominate. The incredible wealth they possessed stopped being a tool for comfort and became a fuel for greed. Their advanced engineering turned from irrigation to warfare. They built a navy of 1,200 ships. They began to look outward, not to share their wisdom, but to conquer. They expanded their empire across North Africa and into Europe. They became intoxicated with power. The harmony with nature was broken. They began to defy the gods, believing their technology made them untouchable. They forgot that they lived at the mercy of the earth's fragile crust. It is the classic tragedy, hubris, the belief that we can master the planet without consequence. Atlantis ceased to be a paradise and became an empire of imposition. And so the universe responded. The balance had to be restored. The very earth beneath their feet, which had provided geothermal warmth and fertile soil, began to groan. Plato wrote, but afterwards there occurred violent earthquakes and floods. And in a single day and night of misfortune, all your warlike men in a body sank into the earth. And the island of Atlantis in like manner disappeared in the depths of the sea. Imagine the sound, not just the crashing of water, but the cracking of the tectonic plates. The magnificent circular canals, once feats of engineering, became funnels for the angry ocean. The Temple of Poseidon, with its ivory ceiling and golden walls, was swallowed whole. The Orichalcum ceased to glow as the cold depths claimed it. The greatest civilization on earth didn't decline slowly. It was deleted. It was a reset button pressed by nature. A civilization of millions, their art, their science, their history, dragged down into the crushing darkness of the Atlantic trenches in 24 hours. The next morning the sun rose over an empty ocean. Where a continent stood there was only mud and impossible shoals. The path to the west was blocked, and the memory of Atlantis began to fade into myth. It is a stark reminder of fragility. No matter how advanced our walls, how tall our towers, we exist by the permission of nature. Now thousands of years have passed. Let your mind drift down through the layers of blue into the deep silence of the ocean floor. Down here the golden age still exists, frozen in time. Imagine giant marble columns covered in colorful coral. Statues of forgotten heroes now serving as homes for schools of fish. The orichalcum doesn't glow, but bioluminescent creatures drift past the silent temples. The concentric rings are now ridges on the seafloor, mapped only by sonar. Why do we keep searching for it? From Antarctica to the Mediterranean, explorers have tried to locate the lost city, because we need Atlantis to be real. We need to believe that a perfect society is possible, but we also need the warning. Atlantis is both our greatest dream and our oldest cautionary tale. Perhaps it's better that it remains lost, a pristine memory beneath the waves, untouched by the modern world, a secret kept by the deep ocean. As you drift off to sleep, visualize that silent, sunken city, a place of eternal calm, resting deep beneath the chaotic surface of our world. Good night.